All right, it's 7 o'clock. We'll call the regular city council meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Haderlein. Present. Schulz. Lavallee.
Here.
Carncross.
Present.
Gorman.
Here.
Lancaster. Here. Perkins. Luna. Quorum is present, Mayor.
Thank you, clerk. At this time, is there anyone in the public wishes to address city council for any item that's not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 4. Administrative Committee meeting minutes from June 22nd, 2023. Your committee's actions requested to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the Administration Committee meeting minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Motion by Haderlein, second by Carncross. Comments or questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Alderwoman Haderlein. Yes. Carncross.
Yes.
Gorman.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 5 is the consent agenda, 5A through 5J. Are there any items on the consent agenda that City Council wishes to remove from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion to accept the consent agenda 5A through 5J as presented.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda 5A through 5J.
I'll second.
Motion by Haderlein, second by Carncross. Comments or questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Lavallee.
Yes.
Carncross.
Yes.
Gorman.
Yes.
Lancaster. Yes. Luna. Yes. Haderlein. Yes. All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 6 is dispensed with since nothing was removed from the consent agenda. Item number 7 is a payment of the bills. Your action is requested to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $1,136,771.73.
Make a motion to approve payment of the bills.
I'll second.
Motion by Haderlein, second by Gorman. Comments or questions? Clerk, call a roll.
Alderman Carncross.
Yes.
Gorman.
Yes.
Lancaster. Yes. Luna. Yes. Haderlein.
Yes.
Lavallee.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
All right, item number 8 was come to our attention that the city clerk, by the city clerk, but the city administrator Leone, our finance director Debi, Bejot, and park superintendent Ryan Knop have not actually been sworn in. So we'll do that now.
Ever?
Ever.
No, we gotta go up here.
Who found the
Up here in the
oversight?
middle.
What's that?
Who found this oversight? It was Dave for plausible deniability.
Say aye and then your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support. The Constitution of the United States. For the city of Carmen. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
We're legit.
Hey, what does that mean for all the work you've already done?
All right, item number 9, moving along, is petition for driveway variation. The petitioners Scott and Sherry Kurth are requesting relief from section 19.15.b.3, driveways and private parking lots, to widen the driveway pursuant to the submitted petition to accommodate additional parking for a recreational boat. Subject property is located at 708 Deer Path Road. Your action is requested to approve or deny the petition. Are the petitioners present? Could you come to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please?
I'm Scott Kurth. I live up at 708 Deer Path Road in Harvard.
All right, thank you. Council, do you have any questions for the petitioner?
Just trying to keep my wife happy so she can get her car out without hitting the boat.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's a very noble pursuit.
Get past all here. Wastewater update. Police report.
How big's the boat?
Say no thanks.
How do I get rid of that box? You know? Bills. Trying to get to, here you go. So this is the subject property, here's the driveway, and he's asking to build this bit of bump out.
Yeah, it's not really to scale, that's just my pen.
Over to this side.
That's blacktop now?
Driveway is, yes.
Yeah. Are you doing blacktop or cement for this?
It'll be concrete because
Okay.
I'd like to switch over eventually. I'm not a blacktop fan, I used to haul it.
It looks like that's going to require a retaining wall on one side.
Yeah, my nephew does concrete work, and he says we can put some piers down and then pour it to the ground level and then bank it up with some fill that we excavate so that it will hold it with the frost.
The overhead view from Athena. This is subject property.
But there's a it drops off on the right there, to the side of the
It does
driveway.
have a grade falling away, yes.
Yeah, I think that's what Charlie was asking
Looks like it's
about.
probably, what, about 2
If
feet?
you go to the,
I'm sorry.
About a 2-foot drop overall? Maybe
In
not.
that area, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just plan to put some dirt up against it and get a decent edge so I can mow it, you know.
But it will be flat.
The
The driveway.
Well, the driveway falls away from the garage, but it will be plain. It's not tapered to the outside.
so it'll be level with the
Mhm.
existing driveway. So
Yeah.
you'll have to
It'll come out
bring in
even.
some
It'll match.
fill.
It'll match the driveway at the edge.
Okay.
We haven't really prevented very many people yet from widening their driveway, and I personally don't see any issue with it. I mean, aside from the support for it since it's got that drop off, but it sounds like you've got an idea of what you're doing for that.
Yeah.
How big's the boat?
19 foot in and out board.
Make motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All right, motion by Lavallee, second by Carncross. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Gorman,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Luna,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Carncross.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries. Ordinance 2023-115.
All right, you're good to go. The city clerk will issue the ordinance as soon as it gets on my desk to sign it, so later this week, which I think it's already in my inbox to sign, so.
It's not anymore tonight.
Pardon me?
Not tonight.
Not tonight, but you're good to go. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. All right. Item number 10 is the Park Board recommendation regarding Pet Dine Park Shelter Reservation. Pet Dine has submitted a park shelter reservation for August 19th, 2023 for a company picnic to be held at the Milky Way Park East Shelter from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. with up to 400 attendees. Action is requested to approve the park's recommendation to approve the event with a waiver of the police officer requirement. So our ordinance requires a police officer over a certain amount. That ordinance is written with the intent of a public event, it's open to the public, that there should be some kind of police protection. This is a company picnic, it's not really open to the public, it's not general public, it's employees who are and their families, and so the Parks Board is recommending that you waive that requirement.
Objection. Okay. Motion to approve.
I second it. I
A motion
second
to
it.
approve.
We have motion
Second.
Carncross, second by Luna. You have a question?
Yeah, I just had a question. Are they required to provide a certificate of insurance?
I think, yeah, unless
Oh,
they
okay.
have a liquor license, it's not required.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, clerk call a roll.
Alderwoman Lancaster,
Yes.
Luna,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Carncross,
Yes.
Gorman.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 11 is a special event liquor license application. Carl Opper is requesting special event liquor license for Saturday, August 26th, 2023 at the Boys League Shelter. The fees have been paid and your action is requested to approve or deny the license pending submission of dram shop insurance.
It is Carl.
And unfortunately, Carl was unable to attend tonight's meeting.
What is this for? I mean, end of the season party or what?
It's a company, it's a family picnic.
Okay.
He's always really good, actually, about getting the permit in time and everything.
Yeah,
It was one of his
exactly.
premier complaints was that people that don't get their permits in time, because he always did.
That is a
Every
true
time.
statement.
Every
Yes.
time.
Every
That
time,
is a
yeah.
true statement. So he's requesting it well in advance so that you have plenty of time to approve it.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Carncross, second by Haderlein. Comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Luna,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Carncross,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 12 is a fee request, waiver request. So Healing Hearts with Hooves and Hound is hosting a suicide awareness walk on September 10th, 2023, with registration at the Milky Way Park West Shelter. The actual walk will use the McHenry County Conservation District Stone Mill Trail. Healing Hearts is requesting waiver of park shelter rental fees. Your action is requested to approve or deny the request. The requester, Mark Schurg, was unable to attend, citing the smoke that's been really bothering him today.
So this is registration and the walk will start there?
I think you'll have the registration, it'll start there, then it goes out on the Stone Trail, which is, off of Lawrence Road. On the other side it's actually on the other side of Lawrence Road.
Okay.
Right at the corner of Lawrence and
Goes
Raymer, Diggins.
Goes like to
Like-
White Oaks or something?
Yes. And up towards the old Dean's plant.
Is,
Yeah. Okay.
is this organization a non-for-profit?
It is.
Brought in
yes.
his not-for-profit stuff
Okay.
today.
No, we were changing the ordinance for the non-for-profit fees for local groups or or is it any group? I don't remember.
Well, I thought we said that they can request.
It was by request?
Right.
Okay, then yeah,
Yeah.
I'll motion to approve it then because it'd be pretty hypocritical to
Request it.
say no now.
I'll second.
Motion by Carncross, second by Lancaster. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderwoman Luna,
Yes.
Haderlein,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Carncross,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 13 is the IDOT Resolution 2023 MFT Road Program in the amount of $250,000. Your action is requested to approve the resolution as submitted. Now, I do need to bring to your attention that the form, I believe that was in the packet, actually has an error in it. On the one side of the form, it showed up above the total operational cost $250,000, and then below, it actually had an error at $300,000. That has been corrected back to $250,000. I have the corrected form here in front of me.
I think we all do.
Yeah,
too.
that's,
You do,
what-
okay.
yeah, the physical copy is corrected.
As well as the county was originally listed as Cook, and we changed that to McHenry.
Thanks for updates. So we need to submit the correct form. So
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Carncross, second by Gorman. Any other comments, questions? Clerk, call a roll.
Alderwoman Haderlein,
Yes.
Lavallee,
Yes.
Carncross,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Luna.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carried.
Thank you. Item number 14 is the Administration Committee recommendation regarding the UDO Table 8-1 use matrix. Your action is requested to approve the Administration Committee's recommendation to amend Table 8-1 use matrix with school trade or vocational dormitory as a conditional use and parking designated area multi-tenant as a permitted use in the TC district, which is the technology center.
Make a motion to approve the change to the use matrix table.
I'll second.
Motion by Haderlein, second by Gorman. Questions or comments here?
I'd just like to point out this is where we left off last month. So it's basically the same place we ended up. Okay.
Right, it was tabled, sent back to committee sent it back to council.
And they have no problem with this now, even though they had a problem with it last month.
No, the request was for it to be a permitted use. The council and committee is recommending conditional use, and I fully expect that the committee would, and council would approve the use that they want to use, but making it a permitted, a conditional use prevents it from being used by subsequent tenants who we may or may not agree with.
And they were invited to attend the committee meeting last week and did not.
Right, and that was the issue, their lawyer last week, or last month, thought that if we made it conditional, then they would balk, but apparently they're okay with it now. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Lavallee,
Yes.
Carncross,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Luna,
Yes.
Haderlein.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carried. Ordinance 2023-116.
All right, thank you. Item number 15 is Administration Committee recommendation regarding Tree City USA. Action requested is to approve the Administration Committee's recommendation to approve on an ordinance amending Chapter 5 of the Municipal Code, regulating the planting, maintenance, and removal of trees, shrubs, and other plants, and creating a tree board of the City of Harvard, Illinois.
I'll make a motion approving the amendment to Chapter 5 of the Municipal Code to create a tree board and et cetera.
I'll second.
Motion by Haderlein, second by Carncross. Any comments or questions here? This is required and for us to get a Tree City designation.
And this is just public trees.
That's correct, on public property.
Private trees can be taken care of
Right.
however the homeowner wishes.
Right. Unless they're hazardous.
Unless they're of
They're deemed
hazardous condition,
hazardous.
and there are stipulations that allow the city to compel the homeowner to fix the issue. All right, any other comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Lavallee,
Yes.
Carncross,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Luna,
Yes.
Haderlein.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries. Ordinance 2023-117.
All right, thank you. Got through most of the business. Now we'll get down to the reports. Jim, how's things at the wastewater treatment?
Expensive.
As far as the wastewater treatment plant, it's come along very nice. They have the curbs in. All the plant is operational. All the old, like I said last month, all the old plant is decommissioned. So far with our permit, our lab, we were seeing historical low parameters back from our lab. So I mean, this is why we built this. So it's doing what it's designed to do, which we're really very happy with. They still have roughly, I believe, 6 weeks, I believe, Lou, left, 6 or so. So right now, I mean, it's just really down to site work. Like I said, with the curbs in, they'll be coming in and start paving here this week or early next week. Landscaping to be come in and done. Other than that, it's just a lot of punch list stuff that needs to be taken care of. Then thank God they'll be out of there. It's been tough for us as operators to do our jobs with them down there, that's for sure, but they've done a fine job.
The one note is that we did have to move it from August 7th to August 10th
Yes.
because we did make some requests to alter a few things. So we had to give them 3 more days.
Yes,
But they're still on pace for that.
correct.
And can you give us an update on well 9? I
Yes,
think
sir.
we need to make sure
Yes,
council's
sir.
well aware
I know
of that.
if everybody does know, our well 9, we had trouble with what the well, the motor stopped working. We had it pulled, and in the event of being pulled, the pump must have been doing quite a bit of vibration down hole. The last section of pipe threads washed out, so when they cut the electrical for the pump motor, the electrical cable that's taped to it, and when they cut that, it dropped. And basically, the well pump motor and one section of pipe dropped roughly 1,000 feet into the water. Sounds pretty rough. We thought it was as well. They fished it out of there on the first try, which was pretty remarkable. But no physical damage to it. But after getting it back and they pulled the pump apart, the pump is in real bad shape, really not rebuildable. The motor itself, being that it locked up, froze up, we're gonna opt to not rebuild. It's a 20-year-old motor. So we're gonna opt not to invest any more money into this and just buy a new one. So, also gonna work all the pipe, all the threads. I don't wanna ever have to go through this again, so, let's not take any chances. So this is gonna end up just under $250,000. Quite a bit of money, but, just this year, we had budgeted to paint the tower up on Harvard Hills Road. Our painter ended up having a heart surgery where they open your chest and all that, and he just didn't want to take on this work or have his team take it on without his supervision. And with his healing here, he's looking at 2 to 3 years before he's ready to take that kind of work on. So we were going to look outside, which he recommended some people. We're going to look outside to have that done elsewhere, but with this happening, we're going to use that fund, that money for that tower painting to repair our well. So our budget will still come in on or under budget. So.
Which one's well 9?
Harvard Hills Road.
Okay.
It's one that's connected to the really big water tower up on Harvard Hills.
Correct.
Is that the one we were gonna paint?
That is the one we were going to paint, the tower, correct.
Worked out.
Yes.
So
We just
essentially,
shifted.
instead of painting this year, we're gonna replace the pump and rework the piping, and we'll delay the painting for next budget year, is my expectation.
And how deep's that well?
This one is dug out at 1,253 or 83 feet. We're pulling water from roughly 550. So as it was being pulled, they were to the last 100 feet. So when it did drop, it dropped all the way to the bottom of the dig. So 400 some feet of that is water. So they figured that kind of cushioned. I saw the pump and motor and everything when they got it out, and you really couldn't see any physical damage to it, which I was surprised, but like they said, well, it landed in water, 400 feet of water, so it probably cushioned the blow quite a bit going down, but, being that, we pulled it for that reason of the motor itself, a 20-year-old motor. Their recommendation is to do what we decided to do today, is just move on from it and put yourself a new motor. So when we're done with this, at the $250,000, we're gonna have basically a new well, and we'll be in good shape for every bit of 10 years, without 15, without having to worry too much. They recommend about every 5-7 years to pull your well for inspection. But I don't think we'll need to put a lot of money into it in 5 to 7 years, not like this.
To Jim's credit, the original estimate to do the painting was $250,000. That's what this council had authorized. Through a little bit of trading in that, Jim was able to get the final bill to 247 and change.
248.
So in a way, he did save
Pretty
some
good
money.
negotiating skills, huh? Thank you.
So, but he did save a little bit of money versus the original price tag. Deb's going to argue with me on that tomorrow.
I'm
What
already
is the-
thinking.
Already spent.
Jim, what is the time frame? Are you going to secure for the
I-
motor?
I'm going to reach back out to them tomorrow. The motor, they said, is basically an off-the-shelf motor. It's nothing special. It's a 250-horse submersible pump motor. They make them, they keep them on the shelves. Not the guy we're working with, but the manufacturers. They're out there. As far as the pump itself is something that they'll build for us. So they said the parts are there available, so all he needed was a verbal. He did send me the paperwork we had to sign, the contract change, basically. But I give him a verbal over the phone today to proceed. So I will follow back up tomorrow. I did tell him we want to keep moving forward with this project. Obviously, we don't want to well down any longer than we have to. Well 10 is a very good well to take care of our town, but, God forbid, that well went down, we'd only had well 6.
That's not
That
enough.
well would run 24 hours a day and not provide enough water for the city of Harvard.
Well 10, when we last pulled it, was it 2018, 2016? I can't recall.
Yeah, it was right there, 2018, because it was right before COVID, because I do believe that those guys that came, because they were sick, and I think it wasn't shortly after that, all of a sudden that COVID thing popped, and I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't hang around them guys.
So I believe that when they pulled it, they did recommend rebuilding at the time, but said we could get by without rebuilding it.
Correct.
And city council opted not to since we hadn't budgeted for it.
Correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure you understood that history.
Thank you.
All right. Donavan?
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. It's been an exciting month so far for June here. I got to be on the radio with the mayor, Harvard radio station, so thank you for that opportunity. We had a nice Northwest Herald article over the weekend regarding Harvard and the development around the county, so that's a nice plug for the city. And something that we're trying to do is sell the city to residential developers and business owners, of course. We've had a few meetings, 2 meetings so far with McHenry County Community Development and Planning to discuss workforce housing and how we can partner with the county and the different grants that they have available to bring some workforce housing to Harvard. Upcoming at the July 11th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, we have Chancelite, their secondary school education service, looking to lease classrooms at Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church. So they'll require a conditional use permit for that. There's request to rezone property on Airport Road. It's currently zoned residential. They want to rezone it to B2, which is appropriate for this property. And then we have amendments and additions to the use matrix and the UDO that we'll be asking to add. One is a amendment to the UDO regarding the HOA amendments that you all had heard before. Then we want to add cannabis type businesses to the use matrix as well as an allowable use. And then firearm sales and indoor-outdoor shooting range as conditional uses in certain zoning districts. So these will go to the Planning and Zoning Commission, then to Community Development Committee after that, and then to the full council after that. And that's all I had in there.
And just so everyone knows that Donovan was, as he pointed out, featured on the cover and will be available tomorrow to sign covers for anybody who's interested.
And I was also informed that I have to bring in treats since I was in the papers.
That is correct.
Thank you, Donovan. Very excited about some of the community development activities that are happening in the city. And I will say there is a marked increase in interest in the city of Harvard from developers, both residential and commercial. And so we hope to take advantage of that as much as possible as we move along. So thank you. Rob?
Good evening. Report as submitted. There's a couple things. Just had the staff out just doing maintenance. I'm sure some of you have noticed holes opened up all over town. There's a lot of gravel patches. We're taking care of sinkholes and structures. A lot of maintenance when it comes to that. all the projects are ongoing with road program and sidewalks and just some of the things in place. We are moving forward with the Ayer Street Streetscape project that'll start mid-July. We had a meeting about it today. It's going to kick off mid-July. We're hoping to have it finished by the end of August. There will be intermittent times when the road may be shut down as they either trench electrical or repair storm sewers or water lines. Made the appropriate notification to the police, fire, and the school bus district today to let them know. If you know anybody that might have a challenge with that, we're going to be posting updates on the city website as well as I'll get the Public Works Facebook page more live and active, so we'll start to post there. So
We should also notify the businesses that'll be affected.
We will.
And residents, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donavan and I were talking about that just today about who to notify and sort of when we're going to probably do that block, and then some businesses north and south, just to make sure that anybody that might be affected by that is aware. Again, this will be the Ayer Street Streetscape project from Park to Washington. So everything's in place for that. Got a couple of big jobs coming up in Public Works, but business as usual.
All right, thank you. I will add one note. We did find out for the sidewalk project on Division that IDOT is creating some roadblocks, and so we're working through those.
So this is something that was discussed. IDOT is really pushing back on to our design because they said that certain grades of the AD crossings that we have in there do not meet things. What they're asking for is a MEP or a maximum. It's a variation to the plan, and each one of those needs a plan and profile, images, grades. It adds a lot of work and a lot of effort to this project. The engineering's pretty costly at this point. To Gary's credit, say it here is that he's going to be taking a lot of this on as not a favor to Harvard, but a favor to Harvard. He's going to be helping out and trying to get this project moving forward to keep the costs controlled and to keep it going in a direction where we can get it done. So that's where we're at with that one.
Yeah, as I understand it, that if Gary had charged his regular rate, it would have been 2/3 of the cost of the whole.
It would have pushed the engineering costs alone versus the actual construction cost to a point where we were actually debating about it earlier today, whether it was actually worthwhile to continue. But Gary, bless his heart, he really wants to see this project done, and he's going to do this one for the team.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Ryan?
Report is submitted. Over the last 2 days, we've had a little bit of a hiccup at the pool. One of my big transfer motors decided not to motor no more. So we were able to luckily source a motor yesterday, and then I was able to pull the motor and impeller out yesterday or late last night. And then the motor was available in Lyle, and I was able to go down this morning, pick it up, get it back in, installed, pool back up and running in just about 23 hours. So that was pretty awesome that there was one close enough. Everything seems to be running as normal now, which let's hope it stays that way. We have one little issue with our boiler not wanting to fire. I got Hartwigs coming out in the morning. I think we've diagnosed the problem, but if it is what I think it is, it should only be about a $200 fix if we do it ourselves. So, other than that, that's all I got.
All right, thank you.
I wanted to just add to, thank you to Ryan for doing that. He came in on Monday, said there was a problem. It was late in the day. He still worked diligently to find the replacement. He worked late Monday to remove the old one so that as soon as he could get the other one up here, he could throw it on. And he did all the work himself. I just want to show that, or highlight that more for the public as well to see. Each one of these individuals here will go that extent to help the city out. They're not just sitting around. So Ryan could have easily just waited 2 days for the delivery, but he wanted to make sure the pool that he manages is up and operational. So he took that on. So thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Chief?
Just a quick,
Oh.
isn't that boiler under warranty?
So no, that boiler was installed in 2020 with a 1-year warranty. So, yeah, highly corrosive environment stuff normally doesn't get any more than 1-year warranty.
Oh, man.
Just real quick with the motor, what happened was wires came loose, it arced out itself and just completely torched the motor. I pulled the electrical panel on the motor itself, and the entire inside was complete black soot. I flipped the breaker back on, hit the button again, and about a 3-foot fireball shot out the back side of the motor. And I'm like, yeah, this is done. So then we went to work to find it. So, but yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Gnostic process. That's cool.
Standing in a puddle.
Yeah.
Chief?
You're welcome for the iPass, by the way. Yeah. Our new hire, Anthony, is in his 7th week. He's doing very well. He's scheduled to graduate August 25th. Enter FTO with a end date. We did his schedule for field training. Should be on his own the 2nd week in November, pending everything goes well. Our long-lost squad car that was lost and then found in Detroit showed up. It's decaled. John will be picking it up tomorrow to switch over the equipment from the old car to the new one, so that should be up and running here in a week or two on the street. Obviously, Milk Days was a very eventful weekend. I really can't go into much about it, other than we're just waiting on the state's attorney's official determination on the case, but I don't see any issues with it at all, and neither do they so far. Other than that, report is submitted, Mayor.
Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Nothing further tonight, Mayor.
I skipped over committee's reports. All right, nothing for treasurer. Committee reports. So, Dan?
I appreciate all the work that everybody that works for the city and works so hard, all the extra hours and the extra time and everything. And you know, Ryan's done an exceptional amount of work with the pool on his own time, just in the years that I've been here. So, I mean, to reiterate what Lou said, it says a lot about the dedication to the community and how much they love the community and want to serve the community. That's a big deal. But also to the police department, their response and the handling of Milk Days was phenomenal. My sympathies to those that responded to the situation, because it's not easy, but they handled it, and the community is safer for it. So I appreciate that.
All right, John?
I just want to, the other day when I was going to hardware store, where I saw Ryan there, not that that means, you know, anything, but I was coming up Diggins, and I noticed the shelter got moved, and you know, in front of City Hall, and I think it's a perfect location. When you're coming up, it's like right sitting there at the, you know, at the head of the road. It looks really nice, and it's a great location for it. Hopefully we can find as good location for the second one. So, thank you.
It looks a lot better from that distance.
Well, and I don't look at the road either. The road's kind of, so I keep my vision right here.
I mean, it looks like it could use something when you get up close to it.
What could it use, Alderman?
Well, I don't know,
It's not done yet.
some lattice or something. I
No,
don't know.
it's going to have wrought iron railings on it.
Right.
Oh,
Those were ordered.
oh, okay.
It was cheaper to order those than to have Daryl buy all the supplies and put all that up himself. So
Daryl Perkins actually coordinated the move and did it on Saturday, and they moved it in one piece, as far as I understand.
Yes, yeah.
And they did it on a Saturday in case it wasn't real successful, and it fell apart, that there would be less traffic to deal with. But they were able to get it to move in one piece, which is really kind of cool considering how old it is.
Yeah,
But, yeah, the rails.
Two broken pieces.
Yeah, two small
Two
broken
small
pieces.
spindles on the top were broken.
But historically, those rails have been kicked out and had to have been replaced year after year by vandalism. So, and with the price of lumber, he was able to find some nice wrought iron rails that he's working on fabricating to fit. So it will be more decorative.
No, and I agree, though. When I did the same thing, I came up Diggins, I saw it there, I said, wow, that's like the perfect.
As long as no one goes straight, we'll be good.
Not that someone hasn't gone
'Cause that's happened
straight
before, too.
through that park before. Yeah.
Should hopefully be less vandalism since it's right in front of the police department now.
Put a railing like the post office next to it. It should be all right.
Any other comments, John?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Lisa?
Just, I just want to say, so Harvard to me sometimes is kind of like a soft focus community. You know, you just look at things with a soft focus lens, and it looks great, so hides many things. But, no, what I wanted to say actually is now that we have the tree ordinance for the tree board, just want to encourage everybody on the council to think about people you know in your parts of the city who have an interest in our local trees, because we'll need to be recruiting people to serve on the tree board, so.
Yes, and I'm going to need your help identifying
Yes.
those people.
Yes. So, that's it. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you. Rosa?
I just want to thank all you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Donavan, I'm really excited with everything that's going on. And yes, the gazebo, somebody told me today, it's like, oh my gosh, that is awesome. It looks really new. I'm like, oh, yeah, it didn't. So, yeah, you're right. But thank you guys, the police force, that you guys do take a lot. My son is in the field, and he also, it's hard for a mom to have a police officer, or he's not a police officer anymore, but he's something, I'm not going to say worse, but more risky. But yeah, you guys do a great job, and we appreciate you, because Harvard, everybody considers it a great place to live, because I know we have vandalism, but I mean, it's very minute what we deal with compared to what Stockport to Crystal Lake. So thank you guys. Thank you.
I agree with you. Harvard is a very safe community. Every community has its issues, but I kind of put our community up against nearly any other community in McHenry County. We're very safe, so thank you. Charles?
Yeah, I don't, unless there's some compelling reason, I don't think we have to have a transportation meeting this month. Most of the activity that we work with is going to be this fall. So, and that hasn't really completely gelled yet, so I think we'll just wait on that. And
so you're asking, is that normally posted, or is it posted, or we just posted it?
As needed.
As needed, okay. I wasn't sure if that was a standing meeting, that's all.
so, but unless there's some reason, okay, then I don't think we'll have a meeting unless something comes up along the way that we need to do. Also, though, Lisa, I think that there's, and I don't know if it should be in your committee or mine, but since you're meeting, maybe that would be the way to do it. But I did get a request by somebody that's, worried about kids crossing Diggins on the way to school. And there was really no, controlled area or any kind of crossing guards or anything from Air Street all the way east. And they were the request was to put a stop sign on 173, which that won't happen. But I would like to discuss in one of the committees other possibilities like signage and striping and that sort of thing, about what the possibilities are, what we can and can't do, and that sort of thing, because I think that it's just something that we should just look at it at least and see if there's anything that we can do to help. I think we're used to have crossing guards on Hart.
Hart University.
Yeah.
That's where there was one.
But now that that's an admin building, that's gone.
Correct.
And I think they used to have crossing guards on Air there, but that's gone.
At 5 points, yes, and then once Central School closed and went to admin, they were both eliminated.
And I think they used to have crossing guards on Church, but that's when the Catholic school was running.
Church in 14.
Yep.
And then we had one at Washington and Air.
Yeah, so, but all those are gone now, and, but the traffic's still there. And I was just thinking that at least we should take a look at it, just see what the possibilities are. Are you planning?
That would give us an agenda item.
Yeah, I was gonna, are you planning on having a meeting, or?
Well, I was gonna say that maybe we don't have to have a meeting in July, because there weren't any agenda items, but.
Well, this is something that can wait, too.
Okay.
It doesn't have to
So
be
we
in
could
July.
do that
School's
in
out,
August.
right, so.
Yeah.
Well, my recommendation then would be, because that's really transportation related versus admin, that it would stay in your committee, Charles, and then we can have Rob do some legwork in the interim, so that when you do host your meeting, presumably in August, we'll have that information available for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sure.
That's it.
Lori?
I thought it was a pretty interesting idea, because most of the kids that go, at least coming from the Park Point subdivision, they are always crossing 173, and it's just pretty much chaos when they do it, especially if they're high school kids, because they don't get to ride the bus anymore. But in general, I was just thankful that the police department was there during milk days, and even, that kind of an incident, and they dealt with it in a very calm and safe manner, and the community was notified about what was going on too, instead of having to wonder what was going on through the gossip mills. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Anything else? Did I miss anything?
Were we going to be having a community development meeting next month?
So
know you
I
brought
was
that
going
up.
to ask, under my report, if you would consider calling a community development meeting, simply because I think we should probably give the committee an update on economic development activities.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Because you haven't had your committee meeting, I think, in 2 or 3 months now.
yeah, I mean, well, we haven't really had much to cover yet, so.
Right.
But now that, like you've been saying, there's a lot more
I'm
going
not sure
on.
that there'll be much action items, but I do believe, it's worthy of updating the committee
Yeah.
on what's going on.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea to get caught up on everything, especially with some of the changes and stuff that are going on with the new facility too. Well, Jay's not here because he's on vacation, and I don't think he's usually too picky about the day. But we can double check with him when he gets back.
I was going to say it doesn't look or sound like we're going to have an admin meeting, which would normally be the 12th of July, which is a Thursday.
That's
Wednesday. Sorry, yep, looking at your calendar wrong.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it's at 6:30 or later, then that's fine with me. So we can do it that day, unless let's see, Rosa
I'm
and
good with that
Lori
day.
are on those. Do you guys have any objection?
I didn't hear the date exactly. but
July 12th,
July
6:30?
12th? Should be okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Got that, Clerk? All right. Okay, committee report's done. We already did treasurer's report, attorney's report.
No report, Mayor.
He has the easiest thing. Report. All right, administrator's report.
Report is submitted. The only additions, we've been handling quite a few of FOIA requests as rapidly as we can. And a couple of things I did want to mention as well regarding some of in Milky Way Park, we are experiencing some vandalism. I'm kind of asking people, I'm asking people to be more diligent, because remember, as damage happens to that equipment out there, we have to use city tax dollars to replace what's damaged out there. So for the citizens that are seeing it, please report it. And for those who are doing it, please stop, because all you're doing is you're wasting more funds. And the other thing I wanted to mention was in front of you tonight was some iPads. The idea is that if you open it up, you'll see that your information is there, your passcode and so on, your Apple ID. With the iPad, what you can do is you can download the agenda packet information so you can have it readily available. The other part to it is that what we're working on is to sync them with the mayor's computer so that during the meeting, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time going like this. So we can actually be looking at what's going on, reading it, and answering questions and so on. The other part to it is that you'll be able to download, like I said, all the agenda information plus any new changes prior to the council meeting. It does have a data plan on there. We've also, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, but we also hooked up your email addresses to it. Nope.
You want your email in there, you have to get a hold of me and bring it in.
Now the
I have
idea.
everybody's password, that's the reason why.
They have generic
Thank,
emails.
yeah, thank you for correcting me on
Just
that.
your city, I don't have your password, so I couldn't set them up. Obviously, the ones that I did know, I was able to set up right away.
No, I suggest that, that you make time with the chief to have that done because when we do have FOIA requests, the nice thing is all you have to do is hand in your iPad instead of having to hand over your phone.
Yes, because your email is all FOIAble, and this allows you to maintain a separate digital device for your email, and it separates your personal emails from city emails.
And if there is any questions from the public, the iPhone is assigned to the elected official, the elected official's office. So if anybody was to change out, this iPad would stay with that office, not with the individual.
Now, in the event of a FOIA request, we turn in the iPad, and this is kind of a legal thing, is if we have already been using the email on our phone, we don't have to turn the phone in. In addition, it would just be the iPad, correct?
Presuming you could access all the emails on there, yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure it didn't end up being redundant is all.
No, it wouldn't. If you sync, once it's synced, then even if you're answering off your phone, it will match up with what's on your iPad.
Yeah, okay.
And with moving forward, some of the things that we've been identifying, like we had a cybersecurity class where we made some notes. We're identifying things as we go along. And there'll be additional small changes within some of our policies that we'll be proposing, including like a new employee manual that I'm hoping to have ready in July, but more likely be August. So there's some tweaks that we're doing to the system to make the system run more efficiently. And I don't even have another joke, so that's it.
All right. Clerk's report.
I have the upcoming meeting dates. July 11th, as Donavan mentioned, is the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting at 7 p.m. Community and Economic Development is July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Park Board meeting is Monday, July 17th at 6 p.m. And our next regular City Council meeting is July 25th at 7 p.m. And that's all I have tonight, Mayor.
All right, thank you. For the mayor's report, I do want to mention a couple of things so as not to keep us too long. One, the SRO contract negotiation, the school board has reviewed it and sent back their proposal, which is pretty closely aligned to what my last proposal to them was. Part of the issue for them is budgeting, which we can all understand. They haven't budgeted for the additional increase, so that's part of the problematic with them. And my recommendation would be a year prior to the conclusion of the next contract, we should be more proactive in trying to align whatever the pricing is going to be for the next iteration. The contract did not come back to us in time enough to be into this meeting because of requirements for posting the agenda, so it will be on your on the next city council for approval. I look forward to getting that completed so the school board can go about their business. Secondly, I do want to mention that we are in follow-up to our open forum town hall meeting we had regarding recreational indoor space. We have been reaching out to possible venues within the community, and so we're seeking this, trying to come to an agreement to see what activities we might be able to do in existing spaces that the city could partner with an existing business. So at least to start getting things rolling. We do expect that the park board will be issuing a new survey regarding recreational activities going forward, and it really would be kind of focused towards our needs for indoor spaces. But we are trying to find space that currently is available that we could partner with someone to be able to provide some programming more immediately than if we had to build something from scratch. So more of that information will come out as we are able to negotiate all of the terms and agreements to see what we can and can't do. And that's really the gist of it. I do want to say again, I am very excited about a lot of the things that are taking place within the city. There's tons of interest in our community for both commercial and residential, and our new staff. I'm very, very pleased with how they have come together. One of the things that the new city administrator has kind of instituted is kind of formalized department head meetings, and I've found that to be actually very beneficial, where the group gets together and they're able to kind of cross-talk across their departments, and everybody's kind of aware of what's happening, and we've kind of created a steady cadence of those meetings, and I think that overall will help us improve our efficiency as we move forward. So thank you, Lou, for putting that together, and our department heads for their diligence and doing what we can to provide the city services to our constituents. So thank you very much for all your hard work. And lastly, thank you, City Council, for being aligned on trying to grow our community and put in the foundations we need to enable that growth to happen. So I'm looking forward to some very good years ahead of us. So thank you very much. And with that, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion by Carncross, second by Lancaster.
Like,
Clerk,
nobody wants to go
call the
home?
roll.
Are you sure?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you and good night.
Didn't want to.
I know.
That would have died on the phone.
Yeah.
We're stuck here all night.
Well, and people including.
Well,